The great chamber of the alien council was silent, except for the faint hum of glowing crystals set in the walls. Delegates from 20 species sat in curved rows, their eyes fixed on the center platform. The Velen scientist, tall and thin with 4 arms that twitched nervously, stood there holding a black cube that pulsed with light. "Honored Council," the Velen began, voice trembling, "we have intercepted something we should not have seen." The silence deepened. Every species present had grown used to hearing about Earth, the backwater world, the young species, the humans who barely crawled to the stars. It was always a topic of mockery. But the tone of the Velen's voice was not mockery. It was fear. The cube projected a hologram. At first, the aliens leaned forward, confused. It was a ship, a human vessel. But not like any they had seen before. The ship was massive. Its hull stretched kilometers in every direction, black metal that seemed to swallow the starlight. Strange symbols glowed faintly along its spine. At its heart was an energy signature so strong it shook the chamber's instruments even in holographic replay. "This is not possible," whispered a KR delegate, his scaled crest trembling. "Humans cannot build this. Their industry cannot support it." The Velen's 4 hands danced across the cube, zooming in on the readings. "We thought the same. But the data is clear. The density of the hull, no known alloy matches it. The power core, it bends sensors. Our scanners failed to identify the fuel source. And the weapons." The hologram shifted. Cannons the size of city towers jutted from the ship's sides. Launch bays large enough to hold fleets of smaller craft open like jaws. The room grew colder. One of our commander hissed, his feathers bristling. "No! This must be a trick. Some false reading. Humans barely defend their world. They cannot build this." But then the Velen's voice grew weaker. "There is more." He tapped the cube again. The image zoomed further. The ship's bridge came into view. For a moment, the aliens leaned in, eager to prove it empty, to call it a fabrication. But then, something moved. At the edge of the image, a shadow shifted. It was not clear, not full, but it was unmistakable. An eye. A human eye. Cold, steady, looking directly into the scanner as if it had known they were watching. Gasps filled the chamber. Several delegates recoiled from the hologram as if it might leap out at them. How can they know we are scanning them?" whispered a trembling voice from the back. The Velen scientist shook his head rapidly. "It should be impossible. Our scanners were cloaked, buried in the outer layers of subspace. No one has ever detected them before. And yet, this eye." The hologram flickered, as though reacting to their fear. The image grew sharper for a heartbeat, the human gaze focusing. Then it cut to black. Silence. For long seconds, no one spoke. The hum of the crystals in the chamber now felt like a scream. Finally, Elder Zixtar, a being older than most of the council combined, broke the silence. His long tendrils quivered as he leaned forward. "If this ship is real, if these humans have built such weapons in secret, then every fleet we possess is already in danger." The chamber erupted into noise. Some shouted for war, that the humans must be crushed before they spread further. Others demanded caution, claiming it was a bluff, a projection made to scare them. "They are Deathworlders," cried a Zell general, pounding the table. "We have always known they are dangerous. This is the proof. We must strike before they strike us." "And if we strike," replied the soft, shaking voice of a young Ilari diplomat, "and this ship is real, what chance do we have? What if there are more?" The arguments twisted into chaos. Species that had mocked humanity for centuries now trembled, their voices sharp with fear. The great chamber, normally a place of pride, had become a hall of panic. The Velen scientist lifted the cube again. His voice was faint. There was one last detail, one last reading, just before the signal ended. The chamber froze. All eyes returned to him. The cube flared once more, showing a final pulse of data. It was not weapons. Not shields. Not even a strange energy core. It was a transmission. Short, but undeniable. Coordinates. From Earth's orbit. The chamber went utterly silent. Delegates stared at one another, horror building in their eyes. The humans had not just been seen. They had sent an invitation. As the cube dimmed, the Vellans spoke words that chilled the entire council. They know we are watching. And they want us to come. The camera of the story would linger on the shocked faces of alien leaders. The sound of a heartbeat echoes. Then the screen cuts to black, with only one line glowing in white text. The scan was only the beginning. The alien council had never known such silence. The coordinates from Earth's orbit still glowed in the air above the chamber, flickering like a curse. One by one, the delegates spoke, but their voices were not confident now. They were sharp with fear. "This cannot be coincidence," hissed General Krava Vazel. His armored fists slammed the table. "They knew we were watching. They let us see their ship. This is provocation. Humanity dares to mock us." "No," whispered the Alari diplomat, her voice so soft it was almost lost in the noise. "This is not mockery. This is control. They want us to come. They are calling us to their doorstep." The chamber exploded into argument. Feathers bristled, scales rattled, wings snapped open in anger. Each species shouted over the other, demanding action, demanding caution. The Vellan scientist remained silent. His cube pulsed faintly in his hands. He had never wanted this burden. Yet now, every species looked to him as if he had unleashed a curse upon the galaxy. At last, Elder Zixtar's deep voice cut through the storm. "Enough." The noise died. His long tendrils waved slowly, a gesture of age and power. "We must decide. Do we march our fleets to Earth and crush this hidden power? Or do we wait, and risk that humanity will bring their fleet to us?" The words sent a chill across the chamber. General Krava rose again, fury in his voice. "If we hesitate, we are weak. Strike first. Burn their world before they gather strength." But the Alari diplomat, young yet steady, shook her head. "General, do you not see? If they could hide such a warship, what else have they hidden? What if Earth itself is a fortress? If we march without knowing, we march to our graves." The debate grew fiercer. Species that had once mocked Earth now quarreled over how to survive it. The idea of humanity as prey had shattered. Now the galaxy whispered the unthinkable: what if humanity was the predator? Suddenly, the chamber dimmed. The cube in the Vellan's hands flickered. Everyone froze. "What is that?" a voice whispered. The cube projected the warship again. Not a recording this time. Not a frozen image. Live. Real time. The ship floated against the dark of space, its hull black as the void, its lights faint and cold. The alien leaders leaned forward, horrified, unable to look away. Then, movement. The warship's side panels opened. Weapons hummed, though none fired. Instead, a single light blinked at the front of the ship. It was a signal. The chamber's instruments translated it at once. Words burned across the air. "Come." A shudder went through every delegate. It was no bluff. Humanity was not hiding. Humanity was inviting. "Madness," someone muttered. "Only predators invite the prey into their jaws." General Krava growled, but even his feathers drooped. "If we refuse, we show weakness. If we go, we may be destroyed." "Perhaps," Elder Zixtar rumbled, "that is the point. Humanity has turned our choice into a trap. Whatever we do, we lose." The chamber fell into uneasy silence. Even the hum of the crystals seemed to fade. Then, slowly, the youngest aide in the chamber, no more than a minor assistant from a minor world, spoke up. His voice shook, but his words carried through the room. "My people spoke of old myths. They said humanity was different. That they were born on a death world, shaped by storms and beasts. That they could endure what no one else could. We laughed at those stories. We called them savage tales. But, what if the myths were true? The words hung in the air like poison. For the first time, no one laughed. The Velan scientist trembled as he whispered, "We have mocked Earth for too long. Perhaps we never understood what it was." The cube's projection flared again. The warship's massive silhouette filled the chamber, blotting out the lights, blotting out hope. The human eye appeared once more, clearer this time. It was calm. Watching. Waiting. Every delegate felt it. This was not prey staring at a predator. This was a predator staring at intruders. The council members looked at each other, fear plain in every eye. Some reached for comms to summon fleets. Others whispered of retreat. But before any order could be given, the cube pulsed again. A new message formed. Not words. Not coordinates. A direct signal. The message was only one symbol. A clock. Counting down. The camera of the narration would freeze on the glowing countdown, the numbers ticking lower. The council in shock, their fear turning to dread. The audience is left asking. What happens when the clock reaches 0? The countdown burned across the chamber, each number glowing red. 10. 9. 8. Panic gripped the alien council. Some shouted for retreat, others for war. But the numbers kept falling, steady and merciless. 3. 2. 1. Then it stopped. The projection vanished. The warship was gone. Only silence remained. But before the chamber could breathe, a new set of coordinates appeared, different from the first. The signal was clear, come and see. For the first time in centuries, the council agreed on something. Fleets would be sent. They had to know the truth. The alien armada moved across the stars. Hundreds of ships from a dozen species gathered in the void, their banners of unity flickering across the darkness. Pride and fear warred in their hearts. We will face them together, growled General Krava, his voice carried across the comms. If this is a bluff, we will crush it. If it is real, he did not finish. The fleets jumped. When they arrived, space itself felt wrong. The coordinates had led them to a quiet sector near the edge of the galaxy. Empty. Silent. A place no empire cared to claim. At first, the aliens thought it was a trick. Their sensors showed only a star, a few barren rocks, and the faint dust of an old nebula. Then the nebula moved. The dust clouds rippled like curtains. A shadow spread across the stars, vast and heavy. One by one, their scanners failed, overwhelmed by readings too large to process. The shadows resolved into shape. And the aliens realized the nebula had not been empty at all. It had been hiding them. Human ships. Hundreds. Thousands. An entire fleet of black warships emerged from the dust, their hulls absorbing the light. Each was colossal, dwarfing even the largest alien dreadnoughts. Their lines were sharp, predatory, built for war. The alien commanders froze. None of their records showed humanity had this power. No intelligence network, no spies, no whispers had warned them. This is impossible, whispered the Alari diplomat, her silver eyes wide. This cannot be hidden. This cannot exist. Yet it did. The fleet did not move. It did not fire. It simply waited, a wall of metal and silence. General Krava tried to sound brave, but his voice cracked as he spoke. Form defensive lines. Show them we are not afraid. But they were afraid. Every soldier on every alien ship could feel it, the crushing weight of being prey before a predator's gaze. Then, one human warship stirred. It was larger than the rest, its hull jagged and ancient, as if built from the bones of stars. Energy surged along its spine. Weapons hummed, glowing with power. Alien sensors screamed warnings. Cannons of impossible size aligned. It is targeting us, a voice shouted. But the cannons did not turn toward the alien fleet. They turned outward, toward the distant nebula. Before anyone could question it, the warship fired. The void lit up. A beam of raw power tore across space, striking the nebula. In an instant, the cloud collapsed. Gas and dust ignited into a storm of fire. The shockwave rolled outward, battering alien shields, shaking ships like leaves in a storm. The nebula was gone. Destroyed. Erased in seconds. Silence fell again. The human ship's weapons cooled, their glow fading like the embers of a dying star. The message was clear. This was no test. No bluff. This was a warning. The Alari diplomat whispered, barely able to breathe, "They can kill stars." Fear rippled through the alien ranks. Some captains wanted to flee immediately. Others begged for orders. But no one moved. Because as the firestorm faded, the humans revealed something worse. The massive warship turned back toward the alien fleet. And then, across every channel, across every ship, a human voice spoke. Calm. Cold. Certain. Council of Worlds, we see you. The narration freezes on the endless human fleet, black ships blotting out the stars. The voice of humanity echoes once more. Your choice has already been made. Screen fades to black. The alien fleets floated in silence. Thousands of ships, from dozens of species, stood frozen before the wall of human warships. The stars seemed dimmer now, hidden by the black steel of humanity's armada. The human voice still echoed across every channel, Council of Worlds, we see you. No alien dared respond. The humans had spoken first. That alone shattered centuries of arrogance. Then the largest human ship moved again. Its hull glowed faintly, patterns of light racing across its surface. Weapons hummed, louder this time. Shields at maximum. General Krava shouted. His own crew scrambled in fear. Even the mighty Zell dreadnoughts trembled. But the humans did not aim at them. The colossal ship tilted slowly, its cannons rising toward a distant star system. Sensors went wild. Alarms screamed across alien ships. They are locking a distant sun, cried a KR technician. But, why? That system is empty. Every alien commander leaned forward, trying to understand. Then the humans fired. The beam was silent. Pure light, pure energy. It stretched across the void, faster than thought, cutting through the emptiness of space. It struck the star. For a moment, nothing happened. The fleets held their breath. Then the star began to shiver. Its light flickered, then collapsed inward. Gravity twisted. Space itself rippled like water. A sun, ancient, steady, burning for billions of years, died in less than a minute. Shock waves thundered outward. Alien ships rocked violently, shields crackling under the force. Crews screamed as gravity fields bent and sensors overloaded. And then, silence again. The star was gone. In its place, only a black wound remained, lightless and empty. A newborn singularity. Every alien in the fleet stared in horror. They had seen planets destroyed. They had seen moons shattered. But never a star. The Alari diplomat pressed her hands to her mouth. Her voice broke as she whispered, They unmade the sun. The council fleet shook with fear. Soldiers whispered to each other, some weeping, others frozen. If humanity could do this to a star, what could they do to a world? The KR delegate spoke on a private channel, his scales pale with terror. One shot erased a system. If they turn such weapons on us, our fleets mean nothing. Nothing. General Krava clenched his fists, feathers flaring, but even he could not hide the tremor in his voice. This is power beyond reason. Beyond war. It is a message. And the message was clear, humanity was not asking for peace. Humanity was demanding respect. The human voice returned, calm and terrible. You mocked us. You thought Earth weak. Now you see the truth. We are not prey. We are not myth. We are prepared. The words cut deeper than any weapon. Entire species, proud and arrogant, felt their courage bleed away. The alien fleets did not fire. They did not move. Even their leaders stayed silent, afraid that a single wrong word would bring the fury of Earth upon them. Then something stranger happened. The massive human warship opened its side panels. Hangars glowed with light. Thousands of smaller ships emerged, black and sharp like blades. They spread across space, surrounding the alien fleets but not firing. Instead, they formed a ring. A prison of silence. The alien commanders stared in disbelief. They had been trapped without a single shot fired. The Alari diplomat whispered, her voice shaking, "They are not attacking, they are showing us that they could." The silence pressed harder than gunfire. The humans did not need to destroy another star. They had already crushed courage with fear alone. In every fleet, in every ship, alien soldiers whisper the same truth to themselves. Earth is a death world. It was no longer a rumor. It was no longer a joke. It was fact. The humans had revealed their strength. The Council knew now that war would mean extinction. And then, as if to seal the terror, the human voice spoke once more. This is only the beginning. The alien fleets shivered. No one dared reply. But then, before the silence could settle, the human ship did something no one expected. Its hangars opened wider. And inside, something moved. Not ships. Not weapons. Something larger. Something alive. The narration freezes on the shadows moving inside the giant human hangar, shapes too massive and strange to be identified. The alien fleets whisper in terror. What else have the humans hidden? Black screen. The alien fleets hung in silence. Thousands of ships floated in formation, but their unity was broken. Fear had taken root in every heart. The star they had watched die still haunted their minds. One shot. One impossible shot, and an entire system was gone. If humans could unmake suns, then no shield, no fleet, no empire could ever be safe. But the terror was not over. The giant human warship's hangars opened wider. From the glowing bays, dark figures moved. Not more warships. Not weapons. But something else. They were human soldiers. Armored forms stepped out of landing craft, each suit black as the void, each visor glowing faintly. Their movements were perfect, disciplined, almost mechanical. Squadrons of these troops flooded into small, sharp vessels that darted from the hangar. The alien commanders tensed. Every ship braced for attack. But the human vessels did not fire. They moved slowly, circling the alien fleets. Silent. Watching. Then, across every comm channel, the human voice returned. Calm. Cold. Clear. Council of Worlds. You have seen the truth. You called us weak. You called us myth. Yet here we stand, and your fleets tremble. The words pressed into every mind. On alien bridges, soldiers shifted nervously. Officers stared at the black fleet that blocked out the stars. We are humanity, the voice continued. We do not seek your conquest. We do not seek your worlds. But we will not kneel. We will not bow. We will not be prey. The Alari diplomat's silver eyes filled with tears. She had studied countless species, countless histories. None had ever spoken like this, not with such finality, not with such power. General Krava forced his feathers to stand tall, though his voice shook when he whispered, This is not war. This is a warning. The human voice seemed to hear him. Yes, it said. We have shown you the edge of our strength. But we have not shown you all. The galaxy must understand, Earth does not ask for respect. Earth demands it. The alien fleets quivered. To fire was suicide. To flee was shame. They could only listen. Then the voice grew sharper, colder. You sent your spies to watch us. You tried to scan our secrets. For that insult, you now stand before our fleet. You will carry this memory home. You will tell your people. Humanity is no longer hidden. The words spread like thunder across the void. Every species heard them. Every soldier felt them. On one alien ship, a young officer whispered to his commander, Why don't they destroy us now?" The commander could not answer. But then the humans moved. Their smaller vessels darted forward, straight to the alien flagships. Not to destroy, but to land. Magnetic claws locked onto alien hulls. Breach lights glowed red. And then the human soldiers began to board. Panic filled the alien fleets. Soldiers rushed to their posts. Weapons powered up. But it was too late. The humans moved like shadows. They cut through airlocks without firing a single shot. They slipped into alien corridors, their armored forms silent but unstoppable. Blasters fired, but the humans dodged with impossible precision. They didn't kill. They didn't need to. They disabled weapons, shut down systems, left walls marked with strange symbols that glowed faintly. On one Zell flagship, a squad of human soldiers stormed the command bridge. The alien crew froze. The humans did not attack. Instead, one soldier stepped forward, lifted a blade, and carved words into the steel wall. "We know you." Then, as quickly as they came, the soldiers vanished. They retreated back into their black vessels, leaving only silence and fear behind. Across the fleets, the same had happened. Every flagship. Every capital ship. Humanity had walked through their defenses as if they were paper. The Alari diplomat clutched her chest. Her voice trembled. They could have killed us all. And yet, they chose not to. General Krava's feathers drooped. His voice was low and broken. "This is worse than death. They want us alive, so we can tell the story." The fleet sat in silence, broken. No one dared fire. No one dared move. Then, on every ship, a new sound echoed. A faint beeping. The aliens searched in panic, tracing the source. On every flagship, the humans had left behind a small device. Black. Silent. Blinking red. And counting down. Cliffhanger ending for Part 5. The camera of the narration freezes on the blinking human device, the numbers ticking lower. Alien crews shout in panic, fearing it is a bomb. The screen cuts to black with only the sound of the countdown echoing. What will happen when it reaches 0? The blinking devices glowed red in the silence of alien bridges. Every ship had one. Small. Black. Silent, except for the ticking countdown. 5. 4. 3. Shields up. General Krava roared. His crew scrambled, feathers bristling in panic. Across the fleets, alarms screamed. Soldiers braced for the blast. 2. 1. The lights turned white. But there was no explosion. Instead, the devices projected light into the air. Holograms unfolded above every alien flagship. For a moment, crews blinked in shock, expecting fire. But what they saw stole the breath from their lungs. It was Earth. Blue oceans shimmered. White clouds curled around green continents. Cities sparkled with towers of light. The planet turned slowly in the hologram, alive, vibrant, beautiful. But then the image shifted. The clouds thinned. The seas darkened. And beneath the surface of Earth's beauty, the fleets were revealed. Millions of warships rose from the oceans, hidden beneath waves. Entire continents lifted open like armor, revealing silos and cannons stretching for miles. Orbital rings glowed above the atmosphere, each bristling with weapons. Earth itself was a fortress. A planet wrapped in steel and firepower. The alien crews trembled. Their own homeworlds were protected by fleets and fortresses. But none had ever seen a world weapon. The holograms shifted again. This time, the view was not of warships, but of people. Children played in sunlit parks, laughing. Farmers worked in vast fields. Cities bustled with life. Then the images changed, soldiers training, armies drilling, fleets marching in precision. The message was clear, every human was ready. Every human was a soldier if called. The Alari diplomat covered her mouth, tears streaming. They are not just showing us weapons. They are showing us their will. Every human stands ready. On the Zell flagship, General Krava's feathers sagged. His soldiers looked at him for orders, but his eyes were fixed on the projection. For the first time in his life, he looked defeated. They are not warning us of war, he whispered. They are warning us of extinction. The hologram pulsed one last time. Then words appeared, written in a language every species could read. You came searching for weakness. You found us instead. Silence swept through the fleets. No one dared speak. No one dared move. Then the devices powered down. Their lights faded to black. But the fear they left behind burned brighter than any weapon. The alien fleet sat paralyzed. The human warships still circled, silent and waiting. Not firing. Not chasing. Just watching. And somehow, that silence was worse than battle. Why don't they finish us? Whispered a KR commander. His scaled hands shook. They don't need to, replied the Alari diplomat, voice trembling. They've already won. General Krava's eyes narrowed, but even his anger faltered. They want us alive. They want us to carry this home. They want the galaxy to know. The truth pressed into every mind, humanity did not need to fight to win. Fear was their greatest weapon. Then the comms crackled again. A new sound filled every ship. A heartbeat. Steady. Human. It echoed through their hulls, through their minds. It was not a weapon. It was a reminder. A predator's rhythm. The fleets shivered. Even seasoned warriors felt their courage drain. Then, over the heartbeat, a single line of human speech. We have shown you mercy. Do not mistake it for weakness. The words cut through the silence like a blade. The alien leaders glanced at one another, faces pale, voices gone. For the first time in centuries, the Council of Worlds had no command to give. No strategy. No plan. Only fear. But before they could retreat, before they could flee, the human warships began to move again. Their weapons powered down. Their formations loosened. For a heartbeat, the aliens thought the humans were letting them go. Relief flickered in their eyes. Then the largest human ship opened its hangar once more. Something stirred inside. Not soldiers. Not warships. Something larger. A shadow that dwarfed even the massive hull. The alien sensors screamed warnings but gave no clear reading. The Alari diplomat whispered, voice breaking, What is that? The shadow shifted, its edges sharp, its size incomprehensible. And then, slowly, it began to rise from the hangar into the void. The narration freezes on the colossal shadow emerging from the human flagship. The screen darkens, leaving only one line glowing in white. The truth has only begun to awaken. The shadow rose slowly from the human flagship's hangar. At first, the aliens thought it was another warship. But as the light from distant stars touched its edges, they saw the truth. It was bigger. Much bigger. The vessel stretched like a mountain in the void, its surface jagged and alive with shifting lines of light. Energy rippled across its frame in patterns no alien technology could explain. The more their scanners tried to measure it, the more they failed. The readings bent, broke, or came back as impossible numbers. This is not a ship, whispered an Alari officer, her silver eyes wide with terror. This is something else. The alien fleets trembled. Even their largest dreadnoughts looked like toys beside it. The human voice returned, soft but heavy, vibrating through the hulls of every alien ship. You came to learn. So learn. The massive shadow fully emerged now. It was not just a warship, it was something between a ship and a living fortress. Its structure pulsed as though it had veins of fire. Its weapons glowed faintly, like the beating of a heart. General Krava's feathers sagged. His voice broke for the first time. This is not war. This is annihilation. The KR scientists struggled to explain. Their weapons, they bend physics. Their shields, we cannot even detect the limits. How can such a thing exist? No answer came. Only silence, as the shadow loomed over them. Then, without warning, the giant vessel opened its core. A beam of light spread outward, but it did not fire. Instead, it projected a vast image into space. Not of stars. Not of weapons. Of Earth. This time, the image was sharper. Oceans sparkled blue, forests green, mountains white with snow. To alien eyes, it looked peaceful. Too peaceful. But then the image shifted. Layers peeled away like armor plates. And beneath the surface of Earth's beauty, more secrets were revealed. Cities hidden beneath the oceans. Floating arsenals above the skies. Weapons buried in the crust of continents. Every mountain was hollow, every valley a launch bay. Earth itself was alive with war. A planet designed for survival, a fortress without equal. The alien crews gasped. Soldiers stared, paralyzed. Even the proud generals could not deny it now. Humanity had not simply built warships. They had turned their world into a weapon. The Alari diplomat whispered through trembling lips, Earth is not just a home. Earth is a fortress. A death world. The hologram shifted once more. This time, it showed humans themselves. Millions of them. Children playing. Families working. Soldiers training. Entire nations preparing. Then the images merged. Soldiers and citizens stood side by side. Children and elders, workers and warriors. The message was terrifyingly clear. Every human is part of the defense. General Krava's feathers flattened. His voice cracked. They are not an army of millions, they are an army of billions. Panic swept the fleets. The alien crews felt it in their bones. If war began now, they would not face just warships. They would face an entire species that fought as one. Then the human voice spoke again. You came searching for weakness. You found strength. You came mocking. You leave warned. Earth is prepared. Earth is united. Earth is watching. The fleet shook with dread. No one dared reply. But then the hologram changed one last time. It showed something none expected. Not weapons. Not soldiers. But ruins. Ancient ruins scattered across alien worlds. Ruins the Council had dismissed for centuries as remnants of long-dead civilizations. The hologram revealed them glowing with light. And standing inside those ruins, humans. Not explorers. Not visitors. Guardians. The Alari diplomat gasped. No, this cannot be. Those ruins are older than our histories. The KR scientist whispered, horrified. Then humanity was never just a new species. They were here before. They were always here. The council chamber back on the homeworlds erupted in chaos as the truth reached them through the fleets. The galaxy's great lie had been shattered. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was not new. Humanity was ancient. The human voice grew deeper, darker. You thought we were rising. You thought we were young. But we have always been here. Watching. Waiting. The alien fleets shuddered. Their courage, already broken, was gone completely. The narration freezes on the hologram of Earth glowing like a living fortress, surrounded by fleets, with ancient ruins flickering across alien worlds. The human voice echoes one last line. Now you must choose, fear us, or respect us. Black screen. The alien fleets drifted in silence, paralyzed before the endless wall of black human warships. The giant shadow vessel loomed above them, its core pulsing with quiet light. Around it, thousands of ships waited like predators in the dark. The holograms of Earth still hung in the void, blue oceans, green forests, and beneath them, a fortress world bristling with hidden firepower. The ruins across alien worlds glowed faintly, the truth now undeniable. Humanity was not young. Humanity was not weak. Humanity had been watching the galaxy for longer than anyone dared imagine. And now, humanity had spoken. The human voice returned, slow and calm. You have seen enough. You know the truth. Earth is not prey. Earth is not a myth. Earth is not alone. We are ready. We have always been ready. On every alien ship, crews shivered. Generals and diplomats stared in silence, their courage broken. The Alari diplomat whispered, her voice trembling, "We mock them, but if this is real, we are already defeated." General Krava, who once demanded war, now stood pale and shaking. His feathers hung limp. His words were hollow. "We cannot fight this. No fleet can fight this." Across the alien armada, soldiers whispered to each other. Some prayed to gods that no longer seemed powerful. Others sat in stunned silence, unable to move. The human voice pressed on. "We have no desire for conquest. We do not seek your thrones, your empires, your worlds. But hear this, if you threaten Earth again, if you dare bring war to our home, there will be no warning shot. There will be no mercy." The words echoed across the stars. The fleets trembled. "You saw us erase a sun. If you make us your enemy, we will erase far more." The silence that followed was worse than any battle. The alien commanders looked to one another, desperate for guidance, but no one spoke. For centuries, the Council of Worlds had ruled with arrogance. They mocked humanity. They called Earth savage, primitive, a joke among the stars. But now, their power meant nothing. Their voices meant nothing. Because humanity had shown them a truth beyond courage, beyond war. And the truth had shattered them. Slowly, the human warships began to move. But not forward. Not to attack. They pulled back, their formations shifting like a tide retreating. One by one, the black ships faded into the void. The massive shadow vessel turned, its glowing core dimming as it vanished into the abyss. The alien fleets held their breath, waiting for destruction. But no shot came. No weapon fired. Only silence. The humans had left. But the message remained, carved into every mind, every heart: humanity was not prey. On the bridge of her vessel, the Alari diplomat closed her eyes. She whispered a truth she never thought she would say. Earth does not need to conquer us. They have already won. They have won with fear. General Krava lowered his head. For once, his pride was gone. His soldiers looked at him, waiting for orders, but he had none. His voice was hollow when he spoke. "Transmit to the council. Tell them everything. Tell them, the humans let us live." The words spread across the fleets. It was not victory. It was survival. Survival given by the mercy of Earth. Back in the council chamber, leaders from across the galaxy watched the final transmissions. They saw the holograms of Earth, the fortress planet, the endless fleets, the ruins that proved humanity's ancient presence. The chamber that once mocked Earth was now silent, broken. No one dared laugh. No one dared speak. Finally, Elder Zixtar, oldest among them, whispered. "We thought we were the masters of the stars. But tonight, we learned the stars already belong to someone else." The final human message appeared across every fleet, every world, every screen in the council. Remember this day. Remember what you saw. Humanity does not want war. But if you come for Earth, you will not see another dawn. And then, nothing but silence. The alien fleets, once proud, once mighty, turned slowly for home. No songs of victory were sung. No speeches were given. Only fear. Only respect. For the first time in the galaxy's history, the Council knew what it meant to face a Death World species. And they knew they would never forget. The screen fades to black. Only a single white line glows in silence. Humanity does not ask for respect. humanity takes it.